It had been weeks since I had made the decision to leave Aaron, but the heaviness of it still sat on my chest. The divorce papers had been signed, and despite the harsh words, the cruel actions, and the manipulation, I had done it. I had freed myself. But freedom wasn't always a smooth road. The tension at home had escalated. Every day, Aaron and his mother seemed to grow more desperate, more spiteful. They knew the end was coming, but neither of them was ready to accept it. They had tried everything: guilt trips, manipulation, even outright insults, hoping I would cave in, but I had made my decision. The truth was, I no longer cared about their opinions, their judgments, or their attempts to control me. As I sat at the kitchen table, Aaron walked in. He had this look on his face, the same one he always had when he was about to start an argument. I didn't even look up from the paperwork in front of me. "I don't understand why you're doing this," he said, his voice more defeated than angry. I sighed, setting down the pen. "You don't understand because you never really tried to. You never listened to me, Aaron. It's been like this for years. It's over." The silence that followed was thick, heavy with unsaid words and unspoken feelings. His mother appeared in the doorway, her usual self, always eager to add fuel to the fire. "I told you, Eliza, you're making a mistake," she chimed in, her voice shrill and accusatory. "You've always been selfish, and now you're proving it." I shook my head. It was the same routine, the same words, the same game they had been playing for years. But this time, I was done playing along. "I'm not being selfish. I'm just finally standing up for myself," I replied, my tone calm but firm. "You've taken enough from me. I can't do this anymore." Aaron's face twisted in frustration, but his mother looked at me with a knowing glance. "You really think you can just leave? You think things will be better without us?" "I think they'll be a hell of a lot better than they've been," I said, standing up and facing them both. At that moment, the doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone, but when I opened the door, I found Carla standing there, a concerned look on her face. She had been my close friend for years, someone who had seen me at my best and worst, and who had always been there when I needed her. "Hey," she said, stepping inside without waiting for an invitation. "How are you holding up?" "I'm fine," I replied, forcing a smile. It's been a little rough." Carla gave me a quick hug, her presence a welcome relief. She had always known how to make me feel better without even trying, but I could sense the underlying tension between me, Aaron, and his mother. "I was hoping you could stay at my place for a few days," Carla said, her voice soft but serious. "It'll give you some space to breathe." I glanced at Aaron and his mother. They were standing there, staring at us, and for a moment, I felt the familiar weight of their disapproval pressing on me. But then I remembered why I had to leave. This wasn't just about me anymore. It was about finally taking control of my life. "I think that's a good idea," I said, nodding. "I'll pack a bag and then we can head out." Aaron opened his mouth to protest, but I didn't want to hear it. I had made my choice. I was leaving. There was nothing left for us to discuss. I quickly grabbed a few things, enough to last a couple of days, and as I walked past Aaron and his mother, I didn't say a word. I didn't need to. My silence spoke volumes. The drive to Carla's house was quiet, but it was a welcome silence. When we arrived, Carla led me into her cozy apartment, a place that always felt like home. She gave me a moment to settle in before asking, "Do you want to talk about it?" I sat on the couch, my hands wrapped around a cup of tea that Carla had made for me. I stared at the floor for a long time, unsure of where to start. Finally, I looked up. "I don't know when it all went wrong," I said softly. "I think it started small, with little things. Aaron always siding with his mother, letting her make decisions for us. But it got worse over time. And then, the credit card. That's when I realized it wasn't just about me anymore. They'd taken more than I could give. They were using me, taking advantage of everything I had." Carla's expression softened. She didn't say anything at first, just let me speak. And then she nodded. "I knew something was off," she said, her voice quiet but firm. "I saw how Aaron treated you. I saw how his mother treated you. It was like you were invisible to them. But I never realized how bad it had gotten. I let out a long breath, the weight in my chest feeling a little lighter. I kept hoping things would get better. I kept thinking if I just put up with it a little longer, it would change. But it never did. And then the credit card. I had to face the truth. They were taking from me, and I was letting them. Carla sat down next to me, her presence a comfort. You did the right thing, Eliza. It's not easy, but you can't keep letting them walk all over you. I nodded, feeling a sense of relief wash over me. For the first time in years, I felt like I could breathe again. It wasn't just the divorce or the escape from Aaron and his mother that was freeing me. It was the realization that I didn't have to carry their weight anymore. I've been so afraid, I admitted. Afraid of what they would do, afraid of what they would say. But now I'm just done. Carla gave me a reassuring smile. You're strong. I've seen it in you before. This is just the next step in your journey. I nodded, feeling the truth of her words sink in. I wasn't the same woman I had been when I first married Aaron. I had changed, grown stronger, more confident. And now I was taking back control of my life. That evening, we went out to eat, trying to make the most of the time I had before things got complicated again. But the next day, my phone rang. It was Aaron. I didn't want to answer, but something in me urged me to pick up. Hey, he said, his voice hesitant. I want to make things right. Can we talk? I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. Part of me wanted to hang up, to ignore him and pretend everything was fine. But another part of me, the part that had been trying to save him, to fix things, felt a strange pull. I don't know, Aaron, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. I don't think I can do this anymore. You've done too much. You've hurt me in ways I don't think I can forget. There was silence on the other end of the line. Finally, Aaron spoke again, his voice quiet, almost broken. I'm sorry, Eliza. I'm sorry for everything. I never meant to hurt you. I swallowed hard, the weight of his words hitting me harder than I expected. Sorry doesn't fix everything, Aaron. You've had your chance. It's too late. I hung up the phone and sat there for a moment, the tears threatening to spill. But I held them back. I had cried too many times already. This time, I wasn't going to let him see me break. Over the next few weeks, things settled down. Aaron and his mother tried to reach out, but I had no intention of going back. I had moved on. But that didn't mean I could forget everything they had done. They had crossed a line, and I couldn't let them back into my life. A month later, Aaron contacted me again. This time, he wasn't alone. His mother was with him, and they had brought the money I had been owed for months. We're sorry, Aaron said, his voice filled with a mix of regret and guilt. We've repaid the debt. Can we start over? I looked at them, seeing how much they had changed. But it didn't matter anymore. It was too late. Starting over is impossible, I replied, my voice steady. But thank you for paying me back. I left them there, feeling a strange sense of closure. It was over. And as I walked away, I knew I was finally free.